Let me start this video, make it very clear. This is a hard video to watch. It was equally as horrific for me to edit. But I urge you to watch this so that you can understand who Jovon really is. Let me also say, just briefly, little B, you keep talking, you're going to find yourself on the other side of one of these videos as well. And I promise you, just like Jovon, you are going to wish you had just stopped talking. Right? Because I've let these people go around, say everything they want, make up tons of stories. Notice, when I do a video, it's not me talking to a microphone like I do with a Chantel recap. It's not me spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours on a live stream trying to fabricate and create stories. It's a few minutes. Me putting context to a situation, me showing the creator's own words that back it up. And when you get shown for who you really are, this is what happens. Jovon says he wants to run back to the Madden community. He's going to leave Gorlworld. But guess what, Jovon? You're not welcome there either. Because your name is good nowhere. Every community you go into, you get exposed. This is not new to you. This is why you came online yesterday and wanted to play the victim again.
I mean, again, like I said, man, it's kind of weird, man. All these people out here, I mean, just be hating, just don't like, words that coming out of your mouth and all that other kind of shit like that, and they just can't take it.
You know, Jovon, it has nothing to do with this, right? No one is hating on you. It is the words coming out of your mouth that people want you to be accountable for. But instead, you continue to choose to be a coward and a liar. This is why I ignored you for a very long time. It's why your opinion of me, FFG Yaba, meant nothing. The lesson here for you is that you probably should have just left well enough alone, right? Make your money. Keep telling everybody you were Andre Ward. Hope that I would never show you were really Reggie Strickland, actually more like Charlie Zelenoff. So yesterday, people in your chat are asking you for accountability, right? You spent hours and hours pretending to look for others' accountability. I mean, look at all this content about BBJ. I mean, how long did you spend pretending to be concerned about BBJ? Now let's see how you spoke though about your neighbor's cat.
Stupid ass goddamn cat. I'm the reason why I'm not going because I'll probably kill that mother. Kick the shit out of it one day. God damn it.
That's you, Jovon? Talking about kicking a cat, the cat passing, and laughing? But you know what? Like I said, it gets so much worse. But I want to start, though, with the lying. We're going to go back to yesterday when Jovon, he wanted to be the victim, right? Everyone else is just weird. When his own chat is demanding for him to explain his actions, laughing at Jamel's dog whining during his stream, I want to play this stream, and I want it to be very clear. This is Jovon explaining the incident.
You hear his dog right there? Woo, woo, woo. You hear his dog barking? Okay.
So that is him clearly saying, you hear his own words. But now, yesterday, when confronted with this, he wants to pretend that he was just laughing at noises the dog made because he wants to downplay it.
Stop the cat. The dog wasn't howling in pain. It made a weird ass dog sound while he was playing the game, and I laughed about it. Is that what we're getting upset about?
No, Jovon. No one is getting upset about that because it isn't what happened. Let me play this clip for you again. Again, the day that it happened, this is you.
His brother yells out, Jamel, get the dog. Jamel's like, why? Well, obviously because the dog's barking like crazy, right? Y'all heard that. Okay. Oh, that dog is struggling. He ain't even phased. Yo, he's not even phased, bro. That dog went from barking normally to making these weird ass sounds, dog, after J-Mel took care of him.
So in the moment, right, you're admitting the dog is struggling. You're admitted that the dog seemed normal until J-Mel, quote, took care of him. And I want to credit Dawn in the chat yesterday. I see why you have a pet in your profile photo because Dawn was out here handing Jovon the shovel. And Jovon took it and proceeded to dig himself deeper. But before we hear that, I'm going to give you a little bit more context. Here is Jovon deflecting. Everyone else, rather than Jovon, should be accountable for their actions.
That I laughed at a dog sound? These people can kick old people. These people like Kaya, I'm getting strikes, and Kaya can live, who dated a guy who did what he. These people can do all of this shit. But me laughing at a dog sound? I mean, tell me you ain't got nothing without telling me you ain't got nothing.
You know, Jovon, I am so glad you feel strongly about this stuff, because the whole cat clip, it's going to be a real issue for you. Because, you know, when you say we don't have nothing, we have a lot. And I want to play the second clip of Jovon that day, citing the dog was struggling, because after this, we're going to go back to yesterday, but I want for Jovon to make it emphatically clear.
That dog is struggling, bro. I don't know what you did, bro. I really don't know what you did.
So remember, he doesn't know what JML did to the dog, because he's about to try to paint a totally different picture, that it was just making noises. And then he tries to say it was a sound in a video game. Yes, Madden NFL football, clearly a game known for animal noises. But I want you to watch how he tries to weasel his way out of this.
Carolina Kissmark donated
Exactly.
$2 through Super Chat. Is it a dog sound in a game?
Is it the dog sound? Yeah, it was one of the like sound bites that he had that he was just running around with.
So again, this is the real Jovon, right? He clearly knows he was laughing at this dog. He gets confronted about it. And that long break that I left in there, that was him thinking. And he comes out and says, oh, it was a sound bite that he had. I've known of Jovon for probably 15 years. This is a very long-term pattern of behavior. When Jovon is caught in a lie, he says the first thing that comes to his mind as a response. In this case, he wanted to pretend that this was just a soundbite. But then, as he goes to talk through this, he realizes that he's lying again. So he has to think of another lie to correct himself. And this creates a scenario where he has to correct his own lies on the fly. And that is exactly what happens here.
You know, and I was like, oh, look at that. No. It was, let me see. It was, oh, his dog, no, it was his real dog running around. His dog was running around, and then he was just playing a game, and the dog made some weird sound.
Now, if you've watched this video, the prior video, you know that's not what happened at all. This was Jovon's video. Jovon mocked that JML was asked to take care of the dog. He laughed at it afterwards, but now he wants to pretend, it was a soundboard, it wasn't a real dog. But don't worry, Jovon, as promised, we have more. And this is why I told you, your name is good nowhere. You can't go anywhere in communities because, honestly, you never know how someone will approach you. And this is a prime example, right? You're in a community right now that loves pets. You know this because you tried to take advantage of it. How much did you weren't talking about BBJ? But after this, everyone's going to see how you truly feel about people's pets. And I have no doubt that your comeback to this is going to be this claim that, quote, I was a comedian back then. This was just a joke. No one understands this but me. Jovon, you are not an established comedian. This was not filmed in a comedy club. So again, in mixed company, you have no idea who would approach you over this with anger or with laughter. So let's go back and hear Jovon talk about his neighbor having a cat pass.
I had a neighbor that fucking had a funeral for their cat. A funeral. They didn't wrap that bitch up and throw it in the trash can. Motherfucker had a whole the motherfucker had a whole funeral. I said, what? Why? Try to invite me like this.
So for some context, obviously, Jovon was invited to a neighbor's home to pay respect to a cat that had passed away. Now, I would say that his response is relatively ungrateful. But let's also not forget, this is the same person that spent how many hours pretending to care about BBJ, other pets in the community. But if only Jovon would have kept it there. Jovon, however, decides he is going to give some suggestions on how he would have handled this situation.
Well, did you spend money on that? You didn't just wrap that bitch in a bag and throw it in the trash can for free?
I'm going to warn you, after this point, it gets gross, right? It gets gross to the point perhaps it needs to be investigated. Because Jovon seemingly gets upset that the neighbor elected to have a funeral for their pet. Jovon claims he is going to ask the neighbor where the cat was buried because he wants to go dig it up and throw it away. As Jovon would say in his videos, roll it.
I damn near wanted to find out where he buried that cat so I can fucking dig that cat up and throw it in the trash can myself. I'm gonna find out where that nigga buried that cat. I'm gonna ask him tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, yo, where did you bury that cat at anyway? Okay, cool. I'm gonna dig that put that bitch in a plastic bag and throw him in a goddamn trash can where he belongs.
Now, at this point, I'm sure you all are thinking, how could this get any worse? Well, believe it or not, it does. Because if all of that wasn't enough, Jovon continues to talk, citing he had an interaction with the cat that could have led to its passing, which he goes into great detail.
It died like a couple months later, but it jumped and scared the shit out of me, and I kicked the shit out of it. So how do that look, nigga? That's like going to a nigga funeral that you shot, one time. When, you know what I mean? I can't go to that nigga funeral. Can't go to that goddamn cat funeral after I kicked it. That's up. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be there. I know the cat didn't want me there. The cat probably looking like, who invited this nigga? Nigga kicked me a month ago, cuz.
So, to be clear, Jovon is so certain he hurt this animal that he would assume the cat would not want him present for the funeral. My question is, Jovon, does your neighbor know any of this took place? Did you maybe explain to anyone how you, as apparently a grown man, could have been so scared by a cat that you kicked it multiple times because it jumped? But those are questions, again, for you to answer, Jovon. I'm sure the community is going to ask you these things, but I want to close this in part with one of your favorite topics, hypocrisy, right? Because you love to pretend that I defend Mike Vick. It's one of your big rally cries, right? And again, I know that you do this very strategically. You feel that if you can post these things, right, people will turn against me. So I felt, Jovon, it would only be fitting if everyone heard how you felt directly from you about Mike Vick. Because I am so glad, Jovon, that you used your platform to make a statement to project how you feel. I want to close this by thanking two people. Inferno for posting these clips, and Bridge for going through, cultivating hours of nauseating content for me to put all this together. And of course, when we can finally show Jovon for who he really is, and there's still other people in the community that want to continue to talk, there is no way that I cannot be back as soon as I can with more commentary.
Mike Vick and shit. God damn it. God damn. Mike Vick caught hell too. White people win it. Mike Vick, how dare you? Dare you kill those dogs? Jesus Christ. God damn. They were more mad at Mike Vick on killing dogs than Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer's okay, but that Mike Vick motherfucker. He got human hands in his that, okay? How could you breed these fucking pit bulls that nobody on earth wants? What are you talking about? Oh man, I swear.